So here we are with another episode of the Tickled Tuesday video with Creating Cards with Sherry, and I am Sherry. I am going to be going over a few things with you today. Surprise, surprise. Get to see me today. I got to thinking of what it would be like for someone who's never stamped before. And they chose to start with the kits and to work with the kits. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pretend that I am a brand new stamper. I know nothing about this stuff and what I might need or want to make the card the way I need to do it. I have a kit here in front of me. It's called our A Million Thanks. And we're going to take a look at it, and I'm going to show you what's in it, and then we'll go from there. All right? So I'm going to bring the screen down so that you'll be able to see me, and there we go. Just a little bit. Okay. This way you'll be able to see me and also the what we're putting together. Whoops, wrong one. Now I can't get it to move. Okay, never mind. We'll make it work. All right. This is the kit that came with A Million Thanks. And again, you get 3 cards, 3 different designs. And this is the instruction booklet, as I've shown you with many other kits that we've done. I'm going to open it up to the one that I'm going to be making today, and I'm just going to set that aside for now. This is one of the cards that you can make. Seriously grateful for you. Nice and simple, very pretty. Okay, this is the other one that I made. Again, another simple card, but very nice. It says thank you. All right, and today we're going to create another one, and this one is going to say A Million Thanks. So I'm going to get that stamp off because it did come with stamps, you know, and it always comes with a block. Now, if your kits that you are getting are the paper pumpkin, you will want to save the block that comes in the first paper pumpkin that you receive. The thought is that once you get your block, you can use it from kit to kit. So make sure that you hang on to that if you are receiving the paper pumpkin kits. All right? Then we have our evening green Stampin' spot that we're going to use to put this on this label. Remember, we always stamp first and then we put it together. Now, I am really nervous about stamping this because I'm not really good at aiming things and getting it just like I need to. And I'm afraid that I'm going to get it too high or too low or a rocket or whatever. What else can I do to make it work? Well, you can purchase our Stamparatus. This is a gem of a tool. It's $49, but once you get it, you don't want to let it go. It works so great. And what you do is you line your card up or your little tag or whatever you're stamping on, and you will take, I'm going to take this off the block, and you will take this and you will put this on your tag so you can see how it lays. All right. Okay, I need to move it over a little bit because I want it centered a little more. All right, that looks good. Then I bring the top thing over, the top screen, and I bring it up and it's on my plate. And I put this right back where I had it, if I can remember now. I don't know. Nope. I usually line them up with the dark lines, so I wanted to make sure that I had done that. If you get it moved and you have to figure it out again, then just go ahead and redo it. It's not a big deal. You haven't stamped or made any boo-boos yet. Okay, so we got that all lined up. It still needs to be over just a little bit more. You know what? I am going, because that pulled up and off, I'm going to try again. Make sure that I get it right where I want it. Oh. Maybe I won't press so hard this. Oh, I gotta press harder than that. There we go. Some of these smaller pieces may move on you, so you want to make sure that you keep it where you need to. Okay, that looks good. So I'm going to take my Stampin' spot, and you see my stamp right here. I'm going to ink it up, and then I'm going to stamp. Well, it's not turning out the way I want it to. The nice thing about this is you can press down, and it did go a little higher, but I'm not sure that it would have done much different because the L was very close to the edge as well. But I'm happy with that. If I wasn't happy with that, let's say I pressed down and not everything came as clearly as it was, I can always go back down over it. I can re-ink the stamp and I can go over it again, and you won't have to move the thing and it will come out just the way you need it. Okay? So we've got our sentiment done. And again, this is our Stamparatus, and it is $49. Okay. The other thing that you might want to consider, when you get the Stamparatus, it comes like this, and you do want to put a ribbon or washi tape or something around the magnets because they will fly together and they're impossible to get apart unless you have something like this. When you get your Stamparatus, though, you're just going to get this bottom plate like this, and there's a foam, a black foam piece that comes with it. I don't have it with me right now. For the polymer photopolymer stamps, you may want to inquire in this top sheet because your stamps are not as thick as the red ones, and it will reach better when you stamp. Okay, so just keep that in mind when you purchase the Stamparatus. You might want to just get that pad right away. Okay, so you have the choice of using this, or you can use your Stamparatus. All right. Let's start with this. It is asking me to put all these different glue dots on. I am going to get my Take Your Pick tool. This is $10. It is a very well worth your price tool. It will help you, especially with these kits, to put on all the different things that is required of you. And one of those things is these dots. Getting these dots off this paper can be very tricky, especially if you don't have any nails. So you want to make sure that you get something like that you can lift it up and put the dots down. I love this tool. It is one of my favorite and one of my well-used ones. Okay. And I am just putting these glue dots where the instructions tell me to put them. And I haven't taken the paper off it yet because I'm not ready to glue it down just yet. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is with this heart and all these flowers that I have, these are the pieces that I took out of the punch outs. that they provide in the kit. I'm going to get all of those out. I want to make sure that I have everything I need. I needed 3 of those, 2 of those, and two of those. Okay. And they require some Stampin' Up! Dimensionals, and that's these little white things. And those are easy enough that you should be able to just take them out with your finger. They usually remove very easily. Sometimes I end up grabbing 2 instead of 1, like right there. Okay. Oh, and I forgot. We need to put some on this heart, on the back of this heart. So we're going to put one there, and one there. Okay. It looks like when I grabbed this, I also grabbed the paper that was underneath. There we go. Okay. Then what we're going to do is with my Take Your Pick tool, I'm going to remove the top layer of these dots, which is this little piece of paper. And I'm going to remove that. And I don't know if you can see, yeah, you should be able to see it. This is the actual glue dot. So you're just removing the paper that's on top of it. All right. And we're going to get all of these removed. Okay. And then we're going to take this and we're going to center it across our card as best we can. And we'll glue that down. Okay. Then I'm going to take a look at this here. I believe what we're doing, is we're popping all of these up. So we're going to take them and we're going to match them up to where they belong, and it turns it into a 3-dimensional look. Can you see that? Kind of cool. All right. Here's one of our pink ones. Let's see. Trying to decide which way this should go. There we go. If you catch it early enough and you don't like where it landed, you can sometimes lift it up and move it. There we go. I like that a little better. And then we have our little yellow ones. Now, if you can't get the paper off of those, of these Stampin' Dimensionals, you can always use your pick tool to do that as well. Okay, so I've got all my flowers popping. I'm going to take, here, I'll show you how this works. You can just get underneath there, lift it up, and pull it right off. Oh, come on. That one doesn't want to slide. And we're going to take that and we're going to put that right in front in the center. All right, then our million thanks doesn't show here, but I am assuming that we are going to use dimensionals on that too, so that it sits evenly with this. So what did I, there we go. And there we have completed our card. Very simple to do. It's just the one stamping message, and then the rest was assembled with glue dots and adhesives. Now let me see. There's one more thing. I just want to double check. No, it doesn't look like this one gets any of the black embellishments, so we'll let that go. But you can see on this card, it asked for it. And this one too. And they show up really well there. I don't know that you would have been able to put a black dot on here, and it's showing very good. So that is our third card for this kit called A Million Thanks. All right. You can go online to purchase that. You'll go to the shop and you'll hit the menu button, and you'll go to view all. Well, actually, you can just hit that kits circle and it will bring the card kits up, and then you can choose this one if you would like it. All right, now the next question is, Sherry, what do I do? How do I clean my stamp after I've used it? Okay, I just put it back on here so I can show you. Well, there are two different ways that you can clean your stamps. One is if you get our Stampin' Scrub with the Stampin' Mist. Okay? And I don't know if you can see that here, but in our Stampin' Scrub, there's a couple clues. This has a little few water drops, and this one has a sun. So it's real obvious. You wet this with your Stampin' Mist. You take your stamp, you get it wet and clean it off, nice and shiny. You dry that off, and it's all clear and ready to go. All right? That's one way of doing it. In our Stampin' Scrub, let's see, I'm trying to move this stuff out of the way so I can read my notes here. I don't have it in here, I don't think. Oh, the Stampin' Scrub costs $19, and the Stampin' Mist is $11. Okay? The other way that you can do it is by getting our low-cost, this is the low-cost way of doing it. You can get our chamois for $8.50, I believe it is, and then you can get some cases. Unfortunately, the cases only come in 4 in a pack, so you'd have to buy the whole pack, and they're for $8.50 as well. And what you do is you get your chamois wet. Just go up to the sink and get it wet. You don't want it soaking, but you do want it wet. And then you can put it inside your case. And when you're done with it, you can close the case, and it will keep your chamois moist for the next time that you stamp. The thing that got kind of scary when I first used the chamois is that even if you rinse this off, it doesn't clear off. The colors stay in there, and they blend, and so you get a chamois that looks really icky. It's really black and well used, okay? But you don't have to worry about your stamps. The ink goes into the chamois. It never picks up any other colors or anything like that. I don't know how they make it to make it work that way, but it's pretty cool. So that's a very easy and simple and low-cost way that you can do it. And for those extra cases that you get, When you're done with your kit, if you don't want to keep the box and you just have a couple remnant things to hang on to, you can store them all in a case, just like I have with some of my other kits. All right? So that's an option and a way to use them. Okay. Now, if you are one that would like to stamp on your own and create your own cards, I would suggest that you start with the, excuse me, the basic white cardstock. I'm going to take a quick sip. Okay. Our basic white cardstock, and then I would definitely get our paper trimmer. Our paper trimmer is ideal for cutting your cardstock. You'll get 2 blades. This blade actually cuts the paper, and this blade scores the paper. So every once in a while, you'll hear me say, okay, it's cut at 5.5 and scored at 4.25. And the score just makes that line in there to make it easy to fold. Okay? So that's why you want a trimmer, because then you'll be able to cut your paper in the size that you want. If you're thinking, oh, gee, I'd like to buy some stamps, but I don't want to buy the whole set, then I would suggest these being your first stamps that you get. You will want to get B, C, and D. These are the most used stamp or blocks that you will use. H is pretty well used as well. So these are the 4 that you would want to begin with. B, C, D, and H. All right, so keep that in mind. Okay. I'm thinking, okay, and then the other thing that you might want to do is get a bunch of Stampin' spots. And I'm going to suggest that when you get your kits, not only do you hang on to your blocks, but hang on to your Stampin' spots. Because that way, if you have a friend come over and you want to do some more cards or whatever, you each have a block to work with, and you could have some different colors to work with as well. Or hang on to them so that you can use them for your own creativity if you would like. You can also buy a set of classic Stampin' the spots, and they come in 5, and they're $24 for the whole set. If you would rather, you can buy 5 ink pads that look like this. And each of these cost $8 by themselves. You can get them in sets too. They have the regals, the subtles, the neutral colors, so on and so forth. You can choose what you want to and get a set of the ink pads for $36. All right? I think that's basically all that I wanted to cover for you. If you have any questions or anything, please write your questions and comments below, and I will take a look at them and answer them as quickly as I can. I'm going to say within 24 hours. I'll double check everything. Other than that, my store is Creating Cards with Sherry at stampinup.net or .stampinup.net. And that will be written down below. My blog spot, my blog. I got too many words going through my head. My blog the link will also be written below. And in my blog, I will cover these things that I've talked about today, so that if you forgot something or didn't write something down or whatever, you can go look for it. All right? Well, thank you so much for joining me today. You have a fantastic Wednesday, because I was a day late. And Have a great Wednesday, and we will see you on Simple Sunday. Thanks.